Okay, here I go. I'm Sister Elizabeth Rossi. I was born and baptized at Center Ridge, Arkansas, a little Italian community, April the 16th, 1926. I was named Grace Helen. My mom and dad, Jane and Paul, were wonderful parents. I was the middle child in a family of 9. My oldest sister, Catherine, became a sister and took the name Sister Mary Paul. Tony, my oldest brother, 2 little sisters who died from bad flu in 1917, my brother Angelo, my brother Pete, and a little sister named Madeline died from polio in 33. My sister Bernie is the 9th child in our family, and thinking back on my childhood, I remember as a little tot at my mother's knees saying my prayers. Prayer to the guardian angel, the Our Father, the Hail Mary, Glory be, while she combed and recombed my then thick hair. As a child growing up, we always said meal prayers and the rosary at night, kneeling, my mom and dad kneeling up straight and us kids slumped over and mumbling the prayers because we had to pray. We attended Mass every Sunday, holy days of obligation, Lenten, and Holy Week services, and any time services were held at church. When I was in the first, second, and third grades, I wished or hoped that someday I could be a sister like Sister Ligori. From the fourth grade through the ninth, I pushed the idea out of my mind and refused to think of it. I was enjoying parties and dances, but God's truly a hand from heaven and chased me all year. When as a sophomore in April of 73, I told my mom and dad I was thinking of entering a convent. So at the age of 17, August the 24th, 1943, on the feast of St. Bartholomew, I came to St. Scholastica's, and I had never seen this place before. As a young sister, I began to deeply appreciate the faith instilled into me by my parents. Besides the example of my parents, I feel that my faith was further broadened and deepened by the Benedictine sisters who taught in our public school, which made it Catholic with their presence. I attribute my vocation to my childhood upbringing and the wonderful example of our sisters who taught there at Center Ridge, especially Sisters Ligori, Norbert, Benedict Marie, Rosemary, Cordelia, Petronella, and Carmelita, and my dear family. Since I was raised and grew up in the country, I was exposed to many things and experiences. Once I almost touched 2 big black snakes in a hen's nest when gathering eggs. I helped milk 22 cows by hand each morning and evening. I helped my family plant and plow the crops, such as thinning and later gathering corn, chopping cotton, and in the fall picking it. The highest I picked in one day was 216 pounds, and I was very proud of myself. We planted peanuts and potatoes and helped gather them. We helped pick grapes, vegetables, and fruits from our gardens and vineyards. I can still see the luscious black grapes and the long yellow cantaloupes and big watermelons. I helped bale hay and saw down trees for firewood. My brothers and I had fun gathering the long green worms off of Daddy's healthy tobacco plants, for he grew and smoked the material, the natural homegrown. I also watched and helped our cows and mares give birth to their babies. It was on the farm that my dad taught us the names of the various kinds of trees in our woods and on the mountain near our home. On this mountain we gathered huckleberries, gooseberries, and chinkapins when in season. I can't forget the big mulberry tree where all of us youngsters gathered and had a feast and fun. I also learned to identify many birds from my mom and dad. My parents owned a 240-acre farm, so we always had work to do. My mother also taught me to cook, bake, clean, can, and do all the household chores on the farm. During the winter, we butchered 8 hogs and 1 beef, and from this we had our own bacon, sausage, hams, and so forth until the next winter. We walked to and from school 3 miles each way, except on rainy days when my daddy drove us to school. Even though we worked hard, we had fun times too. Each day we rode our horses to and from work in the fields before we hitched them to a plow, cultivator, or whatever. We played ball, Andy over, hide and go seek, jacks, marbles, and horseshoes. We visited our cousin on weekends. For all these things I experienced during childhood, I am grateful, and consider my youth to have been a liberal education. I began teaching at age 20, and as the years passed, I realized what most children miss today, not living on a farm. As a result, schools now must arrange field trips for children in order for them to understand things in life and gain first knowledge of what they studied in class. Some of my former students thought that pigs laid eggs and that black cows gave chocolate milk, and they had no idea what bread was made from. Since my first profession, June 24th, 1946, I have taught at Verona, Missouri, Dixie, Arkansas, Ada, Oklahoma, St. Edwards in Little Rock, Fayetteville, Arkansas, St. Boniface, Fort Smith, and Russellville, Arkansas. A total of 56 years, 50 in the classroom and 6 in the parish work. I can't say which was my favorite mission, for I loved and enjoyed them all. Both children and parents were delightful. I received my bachelor's degree in education at Our Lady of the Lake in San Antonio and my master's in Fayetteville. I thank God each day for my parents and family who nurtured my religious formation. I am further grateful for my calling to St. Scholastica. I appreciate all as I recall the good days and not so good days. I continue striving to reach the goals to which I dedicated myself at my religious profession. I am deeply grateful to my parents, family, religious community for my religious training and professional education, but especially for the Benedictine values which the monastic life has given me. What a grace, a blessing it has been, and continues to be for me. Looking back over the past years, both childhood and as a religious in this Benedictine community of St. Scholastica, I can only say, thank you, Lord. My advice to newcomers is, come and see. You will be of service in various ways and enjoy living with your family of sisters and the many gifts and opportunities which community life offers. Peace and joy to you, and pray daily for guidance and insight into your future. Bye bye.